Hello guys, welcome to the 17th session of the Entity Framework Code 2.0 tutorial. In a previous session we see what is a migration and how to do automated migration. In this session we will see how to perform the manual migration by using the package manager console. Let's switch to the Visual Studio. To perform the manual migration we need to use the package manager console. If it was not available, then you can search into the quick launch. You need to select the project in which you are going to perform the operation. We will perform the operation in the code first project, so remain it. And we also need to switch to the that directory by using the cd command. For that, write the cd code first. I think after selecting the project it should automatically change to that directory, but it does not change, so we manually need to change the directory. Before starting the migration, I am going to make the changes in the our model. This time I am adding the ISBN number in the book. So open the book, add of type string ISBN, save it. For performing the migration, we need to write the .NET EF migrations add and the name that you want to give that migration. I'm going to write the initial, and we also need to specify the context name if there are multiple contexts exist. In our case, there is only library context. So write the library context and hit the enter button. You can see that we received the error. No parameterless constructor was found in the library context, so we need to create it. So open the library context and create empty constructor, and let's again clear the console and fire the same command again. Here you can see that we received the message that is done, means it was successful. And you can also notice that the folder name migration comes here. Let's expand it. It contains the some date value and the name of the migration that we are assigned. In my case, I was used the initial name, so it was initial. This class contains the two methods, up and down. When we update the migration, it will execute the up method of that migration, and when we are downgrade, it will automatically fire the down method of that class. Let's switch to the Management Studio and refresh the book table. Expand the columns. You can see that it does not include the ISBN number till now. It because of we are just created the migration, we are not update the database with that migration. For that we need to switch to the studio and execute the .NET EF database update, which will update to the last migration that we are created. It generated the error that the author table is already exist. This is the first time we are migrating, so we need to start with the empty database. So we need to drop the all of the table from the database. So I am switched to here and delete the book table, and also delete the author table and the migration history table. And now use the .NET EF database update command. You can see that it was done. Let's switch to the Management Studio and refresh the tables, and now expand the columns of the book. You can see that it includes the ISBN number and let's select the data from the migration history. Here we got the some data in the migration table, and now I'm going to add the one more property in that. And now I am going to add the published date. For that, write the prop of type date time, publish the date, save it, open the manager, clear the console, write the .NET EF migrations add, and now we need to specify the name of that migration. I am using the add publish date, and hit the enter. Because we have the only one context, so we can omit the context name. Here we got the done success message, and here is the our added publish date action. When open it, you can see that in the app it was add the new column with the name publish date in the table book, which was not nullable. While during the down, it will drop the column name publish date from the table book. Let's update our database. For that, write .NET EF database and update, hit enter. Here you can see that it was done. Let's switch to Management Studio and check the migration history. You can see that it includes the two rows. The first is the initial, and then it is add publish date that we are added. We can also roll back the migration. To see the list of the migration, we can use the .NET migration list. Sorry, forget the EF. Here you can see that it written the two names. The first is the initial and the another is the added publish date. To remove the migration, we need to use the remove command of the .NET EF. For that, write the .NET EF migration remove and hit the enter button. Not that it generated the error message that the migration was already applied to the database, so it cannot remove it. Here the command like the .NET EF migration and the .NET EF database, which are provided by the .NET Core. Along with those commands, we can also use the command which are provided by the package manager, such as add migration, and here pass the name for the migration. Let's use remove ISBN and hit the enter. You can see that it includes the remove ISBN.cs file, in which we are dropping the column in the up method and we are adding the column in the down. Let's switch to the Management Studio and refresh the book table. Expand the columns. Here you can see that the ISBN is still available because we are not updated the database. To update the database, we need to use the update-database command and specify the name of the migration to which we are going to update. Remove ISBN and hit the enter. Here you can see that it was done. Let's switch to the Management Studio and check the data in the migration history. You can see that the remove migration was added, and let's refresh the column. and ISBN is removed. Let's see what we are learn in these two sessions. We are see what is the migration and two type of the migration. We need to specify the connection string in the on configuring method of the context, and we also need to update the program.cs file with the some new method call. To do migration, we need to call the migration method of the database property of that context. To make it automated, we need to call it from the configure method of the startup.cs file. There are a list of commands provided by the .NET Core and the package manager console for the migration. To add the migration, we need to use the .NET EF migration add command and specify the name. To see the list of migration, we need to use the list command. To remove the last migration, we need to use the remove command. To update the database, we need to use the .NET EF database update command. To drop the database, we need to use the drop command. Along with those commands, we can also use the command which are provided by the package manager console for the migration, which include the add migration, update database, and the drop database. Note that we need to specify the context name if there are the multiple contexts that exist in the project. If you have any doubt, feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.